This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com with my daily wrestling news update as I drink some espresso prior to doing my boxing workout. I already did my gym workout earlier today, taking the night off from running because my thighs are all shredded up right now. As far as wrestling news, a wonderful two-time WWE Women's Champion that I interviewed about 3 weeks ago on this channel, Jazz, has officially announced her retirement from pro wrestling. She mentioned in our interview that she was thinking about retiring. Well, she's announced it. So I know she trains wrestlers. Wish her good luck with whatever she's going to pursue. I think she's going to probably continue training wrestlers. And one of the people she talked about in her interview with me was Deborah McMichael / Deborah Austin. Anyways, I asked Jazz if she could hook me up with an interview with Deborah, and she said she's going to work on it. So let's hope that happens. An article came out from the Tampa newspaper about Gerald Brisco getting released from the WWE after being with the company since, I believe, the early 80s. And he mentioned in that article he was initially upset about his release, but he has since come to grips with it and accepted it. Scott Norton has apparently had his second knee replacement surgery today. I already reported this earlier today. Former WWE trainer Sarah Stock, who is from Winnipeg here in Canada, but recently, after being released by WWE, moved into a van, and I guess has been traveling around in a van. She's been charged with multiple charges related to a bar fight she got into in Evansville, Indiana. I did know her in the past, did WWE extra jobs with her, and talked to her outside of that as well, a little bit here and there. She seemed like a really nice person. I don't hold anything against people for getting in bar fights, by the way. I've been in a lot of them. But I do notice one of the charges that she's been hit with is resisting arrest. And I can tell you one smart thing I always did was when the cops come, always be nice to the cops and cooperative, because more often than not, they will let you go. They don't like arresting people for bar fights. I've been a bouncer and I've been in hundreds of bar fights, okay? Not just me picking fights, that's rare, but being attacked. And I can tell you, they don't like doing the paperwork for bar fights. So here's a little tip. If the cops show up, say you're sorry and try to just leave. But I wish her the best. Sorry to hear about her release. She was also in TNA for a while. I don't know how those charges could affect her being able to stay in the U.S. or not, because as we previously mentioned, she was from Canada originally. I know she's been a trainer at NXT for a while before being released, but I don't know if she's an actual American citizen or not yet. I did a very interesting interview with Teal Piper, who is now the godmother of my dog, Piper. I highly suggest people listen to it. Her intergender partner / trainer was along for the interview. I think she has a lot of potential. She has a lot of potential. I also interviewed Lacey Ryan, who is going to be on the NWA / United Wrestling Network pay-per-view tomorrow night. If you go to the description of this video, or if you go to thehannibaltv.com and you click on the United Wrestling Network / NWA links, you can help me out by buying their pay-per-view for only $7.99. Through my link, they're going to be giving me weekly guests, and we're going to be talking about these pay-per-views. She is fighting a girl named Vipress, who looks like a bit of a vampire. So she wins some points with me for that, as I do consider myself a vampire as well. Other interviews I have, Teddy Long, Thursday at 7 p.m. It's finally happening. Teddy Long will be joining us. Tomorrow, Kazania, the Russian goddess, is going to be doing an interview with me at, I believe, 2 or 3 p.m. Click for notifications for more information on that, but I'm looking forward to that. Her first interview did really well on this channel. She also has a bright future. She is not only gorgeous, but she's very talented. Mike misses Piper. Well, Piper's sleeping right now by my feet, so I'm not going to wake her up. You can watch her at the end of the Teal Piper video if you want to see my dog Piper. Jamie, Sports Talk, and Morris is how's it going? Going very well. By the way, you can get these wonderful The Hannibal TV cups along with other The Hannibal TV merchandise in our merchandise link in the description or at thehannibaltv.com. Mike wishes Jazz the best. Thanks her for entertaining us. Carlos Ray, thanks again for the $20 tip earlier. And he says that Jazz gave us some great moments. Would I do an interview with Taz? Riza is asking me. He works for AEW. They haven't let me interview any of their talent yet. I don't think they like me. They should like me. Look at this. You know that Cody Rhodes promo? It left a scar. That little round thing. Oh, my God. It actually permanently scarred my forehead. So now every time, it's really hard to show it right there. Every time I look in the fucking mirror now, I have to think about Cody Rhodes, that worthless scum. Patrick J tips me $2, and he's looking forward to the Forest of Fear that is coming up this month. The Forest of Fear series of matches. And I understand one of those Forest of Fear series of matches will be a Canadian title match between Jeremy Prophet, the reigning champion, and the Blood Hunter, managed by Blaze. Sean Wood is talking about UFOs. Mark, have I ever encountered JBL? I met him a few times when I was doing WWE extra jobs, and it was basically a handshake. Nothing more than a handshake, really. Will Dr. J. Shy asks if I'm going to do an interview with Ken Patera. Well, our friend, the captain, who recently got me that interview with Marty Jannetty, is doing something with Ken Patera later this month. And he said he's going to try and hook me up with a Ken Patera interview. Earl, I have already interviewed Kamala. It's on here. It is on here. Malik Long loves my channel. Thank you. Mr. Hughes, what happened to him, Earl? He lost a lot of weight. He has a wrestling school. He looks good for his age. He actually looks younger probably than he did in the early 90s. But he's lost all of his mass. He has no intimidation yet. I have no respect for Sami Zayn, to answer your question, Chris, for getting the fan kicked out of that wrestling event, for hurting his feelings. No respect at all. He's a loser. Sean Wood saw a mountain lion on one of his night runs a year ago. I actually saw a cross between a coyote and like a wolf about 6 weeks ago, and I saw Fox not too long ago. You never know what you're going to see. I do run in the woods for part of my run. So C4 pieces, Zayn is a goof. I can't watch anyone in WWE. I just have no interest in the product whatsoever. But I am interested, as Patrick said, in the Forest of Fear coming right here to the Hannibal TV later this month. Speedy Ready says, didn't know she was still wrestling. Where'd she compete after 2004? Watch my interview with her. I know you're asking about Jazz, and she talks about everywhere. She's been wrestling, including AEW. I think it was last year that she wrestled for AEW. Sam says WWE and AEW are both unwatchable. I agree. I fully agree with you, Sam. You're 100% right. I'm going to go hit my punching bag, do some training. Have a good night, everybody.